away and documented for human history. So combative, yet being so unapologetically human. It's been probably 10 years. Our next reply is from the Bumbling Bee. My great-grandfather lived in Kansas when the Dust Bowl hit the U.S. He and his wife lived in a really small town and he owned a grocery store. After he passed away, my family was going through the stuff in his house and found a box of letters he had hidden from everyone. Every letter was a thank you from different families he helped during the Dust Bowl. People would be running from the Dust Bowl and pass through his town. He would give them free food to last them until they reached their destinations. Many of the letters thanked him for saving their lives and stuff like that. He took the secret to his grave, literally. Not even his wife knew. I've heard mention that maybe she wouldn't have been quite as pleased, but I don't know about that. I just think that's super cool, and I'm very proud of him. Our next reply is from Noodle Nugget. In the early 60s, my dad had a nervous breakdown due to severe abuse as a child while in Army basic training. He went to a mental hospital and then was released to his family when he was deemed well. After a while, he started hearing voices and was readmitted to another mental hospital. Around the same time, my mother, who had recently gotten divorced from her first husband, lost her mother and she tried to commit suicide. She was admitted to that same mental hospital. They got married in 1965. Our next reply is from Sweet Dingus. When me and my slightly older cousins were kids, they tried to convince me of falsehoods all the time. I was, and still kind of am, extremely gullible. I fell for, hey, gullible is written on the ceiling, more than once. One day, when I was around 11, the older of my cousins was talking about how he was joining a lacrosse team. I had no idea what that was, so I asked him. He explained the rules and the tools of the game, and I was certain that he was lying to me more than I thought. There was no effing way that people ran around with small baskets on sticks, throwing and catching hard balls. That's insanity. So I smirked and said, sure, and went on my way. For the next several years, whenever someone mentioned lacrosse, I'd snicker, thinking I was privy to a joke. When I was around 17, a friend of mine mentioned that she was going to a lacrosse game.
Did you just hit that car?
Kind of annoyed.
I got it on camera.
Joke, you could drop it. Lacrosse isn't real.
I'm gonna wait.
She was so good.
I saw the bumper.
And looked at me like I was crazy. She insisted that it was, in fact, real. I insisted that it wasn't. We looked it up online. Sure enough, completely real. I was utterly shocked and way more than a little embarrassed, especially when I thought back to all of my weird responses to mentions of lacrosse. Ugh. So, you know those moments when you're trying to fall asleep and that random memory of something completely